Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I am the president, founder, and the chief listening officer here at our network. Our show today is Talking Heads. And if you're joining for the first time, thank you so much for being here. If you have come back again, I would love to know how you are taking the information that I'm sharing with you and embracing it and incorporating it into your own life. So today, our topic is how to avoid arguments. You might think to yourself that it's absolutely not possible to avoid arguing with someone about something at some time. But that is not the case. And I'm here to tell you that I am living proof of that. I used to have a life where I would get into disagreements with people, usually men, usually in close relationships, and things would escalate and it would never turn out very well. And now I have no arguments with anyone. And I really believe it's because I've done some research and then I've actually put it into action, what I've learned. And I have changed my perspective. So let's look at what are some of the things that people argue about? Literally anything and everything, right? We could talk about family situations. We could talk about business. We could talk about the holidays. That's a trigger for people. And of course, with all the things going on in the world today, people are just primed to argue. They're ready to argue. They're upset. They're emotional. So one of the first things I want you to remember is you can only handle, manage, be in control of your own behavior. Now, I know you know this, but when things start to get heated or something isn't going your way, we become emotional about it and we forget the things that we know are to be tried and true. So once we become emotional, we're no longer listening. And if you've missed any of the episodes before, please do go over to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV, and subscribe. You'll find all of our lessons under Talking Heads 2022. And then, of course, mine are also under my name. So we become emotional. We're no longer listening. And then what happens? Somebody has to be right. Somebody has to be wrong. And darn it, we will perceive that the other person is wrong and we will do what we need to do so we can be right. You know what I'm talking about. And we also know people who this is a mantra of theirs that they have to be right. You know, they're not listening and they're usually prone to drama. So today there's no judgment. No judgment on anyone about their listening skills or whether they're arguing or they're not arguing. The purpose of this lesson is to teach you some things that you can do so that when you are taunted, really, somebody puts the bait out, dangles that carrot for you to engage in an argument, you can take a deep breath, you can take a step back, and you could say, no, not this person, not this girl, I'm not engaging. So let us look at the first thing to do. When we are not in agreement with someone else, what are our options? The first option is we can challenge the person. Now, how are we going to challenge the person? Respectfully or disrespectfully? Depending on which path you take, may result in an argument. So it doesn't matter what the conversation is about, who believes in what and who doesn't believe in it. It matters how we show up and how we treat the other person. So the first rule of engagement is not to engage. That's right. Don't take the bait. And no matter how you feel about the subject, what is going to be the benefit by calling someone out on their feelings or their perspective? As the person who is producing 28 shows a week and now over 1,400 live shows, I don't always agree with everyone and their perspectives. People talk about all different things, but you're not going to know from me because I'm not going to show any emotion. I'm not going to judge. I am here to listen. So I want you to think about the engaging versus not engaging. What is the upside for you to engage with the person? Let's say it's your significant other, your partner, your spouse, your child, your mother in law, your father in law, whomever it is. What is the value that you are going to get by challenging the other person? Now, what if the other person is challenging you? Oh, that's a different story, isn't it? No, it really isn't. If someone challenges you, you have a decision to make on how you're going to engage or not engage. Can you still be respectful and listening to the other person when you absolutely are 100% completely in disagreement with what they are sharing? You can. Why? Because they have a right to be here and they have a right to their opinion, and the same for you. Now, what if it's something that's you think it's unethical? You think it is criminal? Maybe. It absolutely may be. It's not your job to fix the other person because what's going to happen? People are going to get emotional, and then most likely an argument is going to take place. And where are you again? Nowhere, because you didn't change their opinion. You don't think anything differently of them. Now you're just ticked off. You're ticked off and you're walking around with all of that upsetment. So do not fall for the bait. Do not engage. If someone insults you, suppose someone just comes up and says to you, I don't know why you're wearing that outfit. You look ridiculous. You look fat. You're lazy. You're this, you're that. What is that really about? Do you look fat? I don't know. Is it relevant? Probably not. It's something that's coming up for the other person that they're not happy with themselves. So therefore, they're taking it out on you. And this happens all the time. Now, let's say that you can't control yourself. You say to yourself, you know what? I know, darn it, I shouldn't go down this path. Especially, what if it's about money? Ooh, that's a trigger. But we go down the path anyway because why? We're justified in spending the money. It's my money. I earned the money. I should be able to spend it whatever way I want, honey. Where's that going to go? Not too far. And we've all been in these situations. So if you can't control yourself and you find yourself going into the path where it's getting heated, what is the best thing for you to do? Should you stomp up and down like a child? Should you raise your voice so you're speaking louder than the other person? Should you turn your back and walk away? These are all options. How are you feeling jumping up and down? Because you're not a child. It's great to have childlike energy, but to make your point, what do you think you're sending across the other person? You're acting like a child and you're not listening. Now, what about when you start raising your voice? I'm raising my voice. You're raising your voice. No one is listening. And what's happening? We just keep going and going and going. Our heart starts racing a little bit faster. And now we're looking at the other person like, why won't they just stop? Let me win. I need to win this argument. What are you going to win? Not too much. How's your relationship with the other person? Probably not so good. And now you've got more work to do. These things that we argue about are so varied. One comes up over and over again. And this is one that I personally was very guilty of in my relationships, bringing up the past. 5 years ago, you said XYZ. 10 years ago, I saw you looking at the waitress when you thought I wasn't looking. What is the value in bringing these things up? Because we're hurt, right? We're hurt and we were not heard by the other person. So, darn it, I'm bringing it up until I rub it in your face, I shove it down your throat, and you do something about it. And the other person's thinking, wait a minute, we discussed this 10 years ago. Why are you bringing it up now? And an argument begins. So, my second thing for you not to engage is not to bring up the past. People taunt me with this all the time, and I will not engage. I will say to the other person, this is something that happened in the past. We discussed it in the past, and I'm leaving it in the past. I don't care who was right. I don't care who was wrong. I care about my mental health. I care about keeping my blood pressure in check, and I'm not going through this door with you. Maybe you're someone who likes to go through the door. You like to come through the door dragging all the dirt on the other person, dragging all the buried skeletons so that you can make them feel horrible and have an argument. I want you to really think about the third thing, which is really extremely important. What is your motivation in reacting the way that you're reacting? Do you have issues yourself that you haven't dealt with, and someone knows exactly which button to push? And there you go. Instead of you standing tall and proud and respectful and fully present and listening, you're crumbling to pieces right in front of the other person. And now you've given them your power. So we're not fighting for who's right and who's wrong. We're not fighting for who has the power and who doesn't. We're fighting for respect of each other, respect of our communities, respect of this planet. And I know this is tough to grasp with all the different heated issues that are going on in this world. And people have a right to their opinion. I'm not saying that you don't have a right to your opinion. What I'm saying is that you need to be aware of your environment, you need to be aware of your triggers, and you need to be aware of how you're communicating with the other person. We're going to take a look at a role play. This is a role play that I directed with Mariska Duprie. She's a friend. She's also a team member here. This is something that actually happened to me and kind of was a hot button, a trigger for a while. And it takes place in the gym. So let's take a look at it and let's have a conversation after we look at it. Here we go.
Hey, how are you? I haven't heard from you in ages.
What?
Yes, it's wonderful. We need to catch up.
Excuse me.
Hold on 10 seconds.
Excuse me. There's no cell phone usage at the gym. Do you see the sign?
You know what? I'll need to phone you back. Bye. What?
That is so rude. You don't see the sign? I'm trying to work out here. Okay. Kind of a funny one, but this actually has happened to me numerous times. And of course, at the gym, they have a sign right in front of you on the treadmill, no cell phone use. But yet, numerous times, different people, men, not picking on you guys, but that's what happened, would get on their cell phone conducting business, talking at whatever volume they want to talk at. So, why do I use this role play? Because this is a scenario in a public venue where we have to be aware of our surroundings. And in the case of the gym, a gym is a place where people go for many different reasons, and some of which could be to unwind, to get your body moving, to clear your brain, whatever it might be. And for other people, maybe they're fitting it in during the day and they're going to conduct business at the same time that they're working out. I'm not saying anything against that. What I'm saying is there's a sign that reads no cell phone usage. So, do I engage with the other person? Do I now try to overtalk the person? Do I get off of the treadmill and go report the person to the manager or someone who's on there? No. Now you could see in that role play, I was getting heated because I have done that in the past. It's kind of like, who is this person? Don't they realize that I'm here to work out? And I quickly realized that after saying something to the person, he did not get off of his phone and he actually started making fun of me. He was on the phone going, haha, this woman's next to me and she's making a big thing because I'm on the phone. So now what do? I walk away. And am I upset because I can't use that treadmill? No, I'm not upset because I just saved myself, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes of a headache next to this person. No judgment, but this guy wants to conduct his business so that everybody can hear what he's doing. So I chose to not engage. And to not engage is to show myself respect. Now, let's say that you are having dinner with a friend, politics comes up, abortion, gun rights. We could go on and on and on. And you know the other person feels the exact opposite way you feel. And the topic comes up. This just happened to me not that long ago. And the person kept going on and on, what's wrong with this country, so on and so forth. And I just listened. I did not say one thing. And the person asked a few times, you're right with me, right? You believe with what I'm saying, yes? I said nothing. Then when they finished, I said, thank you for sharing your opinion. I'd like to talk about something else. Well, what do you mean? No, I really like to talk about something else, or I'm going to have to go. And the person's eyes flew open. Oh, wow, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I was getting on my soapbox again. That doesn't always happen where people realize it, but sometimes, again, it's the emotions that are fueled by the media and by fear. And we just need someone to agree with us, someone to tell us it's going to be okay. But who knows if it's going to be okay? And what does okay look like? I'm not sure. So, again, the takeaway is to not engage no matter how much you want to. Maybe you have to hold on to the table. I don't know what it takes. Sit on your hands, take some deep breaths, but realize that it's not about you. The other person is sharing their thoughts and their emotions. Why are you triggering? Why are you being triggered about what they're sharing? Does it mean that there's some work you have to do? That's typically what it comes down to. Something's coming up for you that you feel all of a sudden that this person is kind of sticking a needle in your eye or a knife in your back. So I'd like you to think about these things that I'm sharing now. If you have any comments or any questions, please let me know. I truly believe that if you are interested in avoiding arguments, you absolutely can do so. If you have people in your life with whom you argue on a regular basis, take a look at those relationships. Are they really working? Or are you in this dysfunctional pattern of behavior, ineffective pattern of behavior that you and the other person know how to feed off of each other? And yet that's how your relationship is. It's based on drama. It's based on one-upsmanship. It's based on who's right and who's wrong. And you've been together for so long, or your patterns have been this way for so long that that's what you know. And it feels like it's normal. I remember someone said to me, maybe 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, you like the drama. And I was really insulted by that. I thought, what are they talking about? I don't like drama. Drama comes to me. But I started looking at the decisions I was making, the path that I was taking, the people I was spending my time with. And yes, I was definitely in a world of drama, many different situations. I have no drama in my life now. That doesn't mean I don't have issues. That doesn't mean I don't have challenges, but I don't have any drama. And you might say to yourself, well, if you know me and you've been following me, I spend a lot of my time working and I spend a lot of time with my mother. And those things are true. I also have evaluated the relationships that I was in, what was working and what wasn't working. And I made some decisions that I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to feel insecure. Many relationships I had, especially with men, I always felt like I wasn't valued. and my opinions weren't important. So I would fight for it. I will fight you to the end so that you validate me. But no one else can validate you. No one. No one can stand in judgment of you unless you let them. And if you're finding, again, that you are in a life where arguing is very commonplace, I challenge you, I invite you to take a deep breath, take a step back, and ask yourself, what would your life be like? What would you feel like in your heart and in your body if you didn't have arguments? I've done it. I've accomplished it. You can do the same thing. It means change. It means observation. It means showing other people respect. And I'll leave you with this. I have the pleasure, the fortitude, the gratitude of being able to work with people all over the world. And people come to me on a regular basis and they ask me for things. They ask me to help them. And I say yes as often as I can. Someone can't make a show. Is it okay? Yes. Someone wants to do XYZ? Yes. Why? Because it's just as easy to say yes as it is to say no. And this is not about not having boundaries. This is about being able to listen to other people so they feel heard. If you started saying yes a little bit more, if you started closing your mouth and listening a little more, would you have fewer arguments in your life? Or is it just about being right? I know a couple who've been in distress, and their relationship is truly based on who is right, who can win, who's earning the points. So, what happens to the relationship? It's not very good, and neither party feels very good. But yet they continue on butting heads, ramming heads because they want to be right. I don't want to be right. I want to be heard. I want to feel safe. And for this time in my life, I do feel heard and I do feel safe. And I hope you get that gift, give that gift, keep that gift for yourself. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and thank you for watching my Talking Head series. If you'd like to reach out to me, there's several ways. The easiest thing is to go to one of my two websites, usaglobaltv.com or drjacalyn.com. You can contact me there, and I'm happy to help you. I am a certified life, career, and executive coach. I'm also the chief listening officer here at our channel, and I am also someone who cares about other people. So thank you for being here, and I look forward to hearing any comments you have, any feedback. If you'd like to be in a future role play, please let me know. I'm always looking for people to volunteer and do role plays because we learn about ourselves by doing the role plays and by watching them later. Take care of yourself. Thanks so much. We'll be right back with the Corner Bookstore.